Well, hey everybody, my name is David over at DF Homesy Diamonds in downtown Little Rock. I'm a GIA certified gemologist. I am a diamond buyer, gemstone buyer, appraiser. I try to do a little bit of everything. And I recently had a client come in who had a blue gemstone. It was beautiful, very vibrant, and they were looking to sell it. So I went through the process of trying to identify it. Now, this gemstone was loose, and I was able to use my gemological equipment to figure out what it was. So stay tuned, and you'll see how through the process we're able to identify what this gemstone is.
All right, so here's our gemstone. It's a very vibrant blue gemstone, a little abraded on the side, but nothing too bad. Overall, very beautiful and eye-catching. All right, so now we have to test the gemstone. We have it face down on the refractometer. We're bobbing our head back and forth, and we're looking for that bluish green line, and there it is, 1.77.
All right, now what do we do with this information? So we refer back to our gem identification lab manual, and we flip over to the separating blue and violet gems, and flip to this little chart here. And then we'll swing over to this section here where we're able to identify transparent blue and violet gemstones between 1.7 to 1.8 on the refractometer. So our reading was right around that corundum sapphire mark. So we're at 1.77. So we're going to flip to that page 144. So as we flip to 144, we arrive, as you can see, I've got a lot of notes. And realistically, there's a lot of testing for sapphire that needs to be done. There is lattice diffusion, flipping the stone over. There is curved striate to figure out whether that's also synthetic, and hydrothermal, as well as flux, and a bunch of characteristics that we have to use the microscope to identify. So let's take a look.
So here's our gemstone magnified at 10 power, and we can see that there's a dividing line here with a top crown and then the bottom pavilion, which is very interesting. Let's take a closer look. Here's the gemstone at 30 power, and now we're seeing gas bubbles. We're seeing that clear dividing line between the top section and the bottom section. And the other thing I want us to focus on is the fact that the facet is very, very bright and pretty abraded underneath it. So there's a clear polishing difference here because sapphire is pretty high polish and takes a lot to be abraded. And then the bottom, whatever it is pretty scratched up. So now that we see that there is a top section to this gemstone and a bottom section to this gemstone that are different, what we're going to do is we're going to flip this gemstone over with the table down, and we're going to look for this red ring. And there it is, all around the gemstone, the ring of fire. So now we have some new information, and we have to test it again on the refractometer. And it looks like we're getting a new reading at 1.61, which is very interesting because the top is 1.77. Let's refer back to our lab manual.
All right, so we are back at the gem identification lab manual because we have new information. We have information that the backside of the stone, the pavilion side, is 1.61 on the refractive index. We also can see that there's this red ring. So what do we do with this information? So we refer back to our gem identification lab manual, and now we're no longer looking at just a sapphire stone. We may be looking at an assembled stone. So we're going to go to identifying imitations, rough and synthetic, and we're going to land on identifying assembled gemstones. Now what we saw was actually this up here, because the crown going to the girdle, not quite at the girdle, was natural sapphire, but the bottom was glass. And the reason why we know this is we are referring back to our lab manual, and we see this red ring. Face down, a garnet and glass doublet. In this case, we've got a sapphire. Almost any color is distinctive. The red ring is due to the presence of the garnet cap, in this case, the sapphire cap. So now that we know, we move on. So that was pretty cool, right? A little scary, to be honest with you, because I really loved this gemstone and I wanted to buy it because it looked beautiful. And to be honest, you had to do a little bit of digging. And that really is what gem identification is about. And so through the process of identifying this gemstone, we've realized that it's a sapphire and glass doublet assembled stone. And in this case, I'm not necessarily interested in buying it, so we had to pass on it. But we learned a lot, and so did the client. So thank you for watching this video. Again, my name is David at DF Homesy Diamonds in downtown Little Rock, here for all your gemstone needs. Thank you.